wall. Just looking for the cast.
Well, we've got
list.
Kwame, we've got Jenna, we've got Cassia. Kwame and Cassia, and Jenna, and what was the name of the lovely lady in the suit? And Zoe. Jenna and Zoe.
So let's start with Jenna and Zoe. I really like both of them. What do you think? Do you like them? It's a bit weird. We look great. Do you like? What did you think of them? I think individually and then together, I really like them. Really like them. How beautiful as well is Jenna's sister. I said to Mara, she looks like a movie star. Love the outfit she had on at the wedding.
Yeah, I can't say I noticed.
I pointed it out a number of times. I said, look at her, she's so beautiful.
No, you were obsessed.
She looked like a blonde, oh God, what's that actress that's so beautiful? I don't think is a very good actress.
Faith Goodman really liked Jenna and Zoe.
Yeah, really like them, really hopeful.
Natasha, you like them too. Love both the girls. Jenny Ward. Yeah, I really like them.
My favourite line of the episode was, well, obviously I don't give a shit, when she said about her hair.
Oh no, the story around her alopecia was so... I mean, I was feeling her nervousness all the way through, and you could see her, bless her, as she was fidgeting with her... She was fidgeting with her fringe all the way through, and you could just feel her discomfort, couldn't you?
But it was a great lesson in how you can build something up, build something up, build something up. Imagine what the other person's feeling, imagine what they're thinking, and you never know. Because at the end of the day, all of her wedding day, she spent terrified about her hair.
Yeah.
And then this amazing woman just, well, obviously don't give a shit.
Dawny Harvey doesn't like Zoe that much.
Zoe, which one's Zoe? The one with alopecia?
No, Zoe's this one.
Oh, why? Tell us why,
Yes,
Dawny.
I think Zoe felt really nervous. I think Zoe was far more nervous than she was letting on. I mean, I think she was trying to cover it. She was trying to ride it. Don't forget, she also comes from an industry where you could see just in the footage of her working with her other quantity surveyor types that, there's a bit of kind of, you've got to be a bit bolshy, you've got to be a bit macho and all that kind of stuff. And I thought she was trying to hold her front, but I don't know.
I think she was really nervous, and I think she was really, really excited about Jenna. But could be wrong. Could be wrong. Tell us what your instinct is telling you about Jenna and Zoe.
Anne-Marie Evans, just jumping ahead for a minute because I don't want to lose the comment. I totally agree. I see Kwame having an affair with the girl who was very rude last week.
Yeah, well, we're going to move on to Kwame.
Yeah, bloody
I
hell.
think Zoe was bothered by her being vegan, not
well,
eating eggs.
there was that exchange about eggs. She seemed to be
She doesn't eat eggs. She didn't really know what a vegan was.
Horrified by the egg concept.
Yeah.
I think they are a match, says Gracie Stonehill.
So do I.
Yeah, Faith Goodman. I think Zoe was more bothered by her being vegan and not eating eggs.
Than she was about her hair, which is so lovely.
Yeah.
And she was, I'm really going to struggle. What, just vegetables?
Yeah.
Yeah, she really, really was shocked by the veganism.
I thought they were they seem very solid, they seem very well matched, they seem to be into each other. Their families are lovely and supportive.
And they've both come
Gracie
to
Stonehill,
it.
a perfect stranger, that was a lovely quote.
Yeah, and the fact that they've both come to it with an open heart and with an open mind.
Couldn't agree more, Miss Sawalha.
And their faces when they saw each other, that's the bit I love, when they get to the altar and they see each other and they're just like...
It's so nice.
But everybody's wanting to talk about Kwame.
Cassia and Kwame.
Now, let's start with Cassia.
Oh, okay. Go on.
Did you?
I like her. I don't love her personality. I thought her granddad was fascinating.
No, but that's why I loved about her. What I loved about her. She's somebody that's been a fighter. She had a dad that deserted her. She had a child at 16. So she's saying, I've put up a front, I've worked, this is somebody
so I think
that's
but you're right.
And I like people like that. And I can see she's got edges.
Yeah.
And I can see all the women and all the family have edges, but they're all women that have had to fight. Do you know what I mean? But I think she's ambitious for a good relationship. And I think sometimes that can be a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, my concern for her is that I know, we're going to get to Kwame, and in a minute, in this show, it's often the case that the men seem to have a very high... Well, no, that's not true, actually. The men don't seem to have the highest list of requirements and needs. I don't know. I could see her expecting it and wanting too much from it too quickly. So, whilst Kwame One thing I would say about Kwame is I've never known someone so comfortable with obviously the director in his hotel room saying stand in front of the mirror and pose. This man likes to look at himself. He likes to admire himself. Why not? He's got a lovely face. He's very good looking. But is Kwame actually
You didn't
just...
finish telling us what it was about Cassia.
There's just something holding me back.
Okay.
She's holding me at arm's length, but
I think that's her
I think what it is what you
vulnerability
just
and her-
said.
and her
I think it's what
shell.
you just said. I loved her grandfather.
That's what I mean. I
yeah.
love that relationship. And look how many times she cried. Every time she spoke to her grandfather, she cried.
Yes.
She's very, very soft underneath.
I was
with
scared of the
tough
grandfather at
exterior.
first, and then suddenly I realised I
Oh
didn't
my
need to be. He
God, he
incredibly...
was so lovely.
Sometimes I think as a grandfather, I might try and be this kind of grandfather. The poker expression is a really useful one. Where
He
you
reminded
give
me a
nothing
bit
away.
of my dad.
Yeah, he did me too.
Okay, everyone just wants to talk about Kwame. Let's
Well,
go to
as I
Kwame.
said, he liked
First
to look at
thoughts
himself.
in the first minute. What
First
do you
thoughts were I couldn't bear him.
think? Yeah.
That was my
My
first
first
thought.
thoughts were very good looking, very smart.
Yeah, very dapper.
And I thought, oh my God, the ego, a size of a planet. I said, does this man ever not look in the mirror?
Well, as I said, he didn't struggle with any of the sequences where he had to look in the mirror. So they
No.
couldn't actually get him out of the mirror. In fact, he was
Kirsty, I
constantly
don't think
looking in the
anyone
mirror.
will ever love Kwame as much as Kwame.
Kwame has so many... As you would say, Kwame has bought tickets on himself.
He's his own best entertainment.
Yeah.
And I said to Mark, it's funny, isn't it? Because he's very full of himself and very cocky and very like... And yet, he's had to go to a TV show and marry a stranger.
I thought the most telling moment... Okay, this is the question I want to ask. I want to ask you guys this. Regardless... Okay, he's got a big personality. He's a bit blunt. He loves himself. That's not a crime.
Exactly,
None of that's a crime. None of that is a crime. None of that is a crime.
No, but I find him shallow.
He might be shallow. That's not a crime either.
Well, I'm not saying any of it's
No,
crime, just saying I don't
But
like
do you not think that when he sat at the table and he said, what did he say when they said, is she what you wanted? And he kind of said 70% or something like that.
I
didn't
want a
he?
unicorn.
I want a unicorn. When he said, is he just trying to let her down, not gently, but is he trying to make it clear from the off that we're in negative equity?
He is trying to make it clear all the way through, but I think he entered into the whole experiment with that attitude. I think he wants to be famous. He wants to talk about his podcast. And I think
He's
he
mentioned
never
it
had an
3 times.
intention.
Right.
He knows it's not a real marriage. They have to decide to get married after 6 weeks.
Right, yeah.
And so he's entered into it in that way. And I think all those women around the table picked up on it. And when he said, I need a holiday.
That was the
and
most
when he
awful
said,
line.
But then interestingly, the line that I picked up in when he was talking to the cameras and he said, they were wanting me to answer all the questions right. And you were thinking what you heard there was, I'm going to answer the right question for them. I'm not going to give them right answer. I'm not going to give them truthful answers. I'm working out what the right answer is and I'm going to give it to them.
What's a unicorn woman, Anne-Marie Evans is asking?
It's an impossible.
I thought it was a horny woman.
What he means is what he wants is not
It's
possible.
not possible.
And to
So
say that to
it's not
her.
nice.
And, you know, he's going to come. It's like I said to Mark, when a man
Totally right,
says,
Zoe.
I want somebody more petite.
Yeah, petite is, as
Petite.
you rightly
He
say,
didn't
it's a
say
very specific
smaller.
word.
Petite means tiny. But there was a lot of talk from the women about how he had to be tall, how he had to be muscular,
True.
That was a two-way street.
And they did say he was short.
Yeah, and there was a lot about the way he looked.
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of equal.
Yeah.
She's and the thing is, if you really do have physical preferences, you do. And I think
he does. I think he can't help that. And I personally think
just
that
didn't
whilst he
fancy
went
it.
about it in a really clumsy and inadequate way and talking about needing a holiday and all that, I think he was even trying to let the family know, look guys, don't get your hopes up because we're in a I think he's trying to say we're below the bar.
He doesn't when he turned round, he didn't fancy her.
She wants
and
some Ronky
she
Bumpy.
really, really wants him. And the thing is now, the problem with that is, he's using the excuse of we had a lot of discussion about where we're going to sleep, but we had a lot of discussion about respect. So he's playing the card of I can't have sex with you yet because I'm not that sort of person. Well, I don't believe that. This is really reminiscent of the American one with the. Do you remember the Indian couple?
Yes.
And then and he told her she was she'd
Yes.
lost all weight, like she wasn't his
Yeah,
body
I do.
type, and all of that. And then that wasn't Married First Sight. That was
No, that
Love
was
is
Love is
Blind.
Blind.
Do
That
you
was
remember Love is Blind with the
Yeah, yeah.
Asian couple?
Yeah.
And he was so horrible to her.
Yeah.
And he had no intention right from the beginning. And I feel the same vibes with this.
It must be pretty petrifying being in that scenario with the whole production team around you, a wedding, two families, and when the woman or the man walks out, you feel this weight, like a lead weight, land in your bowels, and you go, I feel nothing.
Yeah.
I feel nothing.
And I think
Maybe
he
he's there.
feels nothing. I
think
mean,
he's
I
there.
think he just. I think he says he wants a strong woman, and I love the way she said, "I'm just distracted because I love your voice so much." She was so full power, but he doesn't actually want a strong woman. I think he actually wants a kind of strong
Yeah,
woman
I
that is
agree.
like sweet and petite and like wants him to like.
Caranula, it's on E4. It's on E4, which is on the normal terrestrial kind of list of channels. I can see him with a number of wives, all adoring him, says Kirsty Birchbinder.
So who believes that the reason he thinks that they shouldn't have sex tonight is because he thinks that they should respect each other?
Melanie Morrison likes your jug, Nadia. Just
It's
the one.
Cafetiere, it's thirsty.
Just the one. Faith Goodman, he wants to sleep with someone like the grumpy one from last week on Safari.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where she wants Nookie, says Mandy Nanny.
She does, and good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
And she said it, and she's a sassy, gorgeous, beautiful woman. I mean,
What was your question? Because people are
beautiful.
saying no.
His question was, do you think the reason he said no to sex is because he believes they should both respect each other? That's
Oh,
what
right.
he said.
Yeah. No, no. No. She's
Or
gagging for
Melanie.
it. Melanie. He doesn't fancy her. Karen Ellis. It's plain as the nose on his face.
And you know, it's this awful thing, isn't it? When somebody doesn't fancy you, you are going to go to a place of thinking you are not fanciable.
Course.
But what you've always got to remember when somebody doesn't fancy you is there's going to be people you don't fancy. Doesn't mean nobody is fanciable to you. It's just chemistry.
It's true. She talks wisdom.
I think they'll swap partners like they did in the Australian version. I do. I think Faith's right on this. I think
Selena
nasty
Lou Fogg says he is a knob.
give it to us straight between the eyes.
Give us it straight between the eyes, guys. Just honestly, let's all stop pussyfooting about it. You just tell us what you think of him.
I wonder if he's got some lower self-esteem, and that's why he's got
Of course
such
he
a
has.
big
You
ego.
need to be that sort of man. He won Mr. Garner, didn't he?
And he's kept the title
He's
ever
kept the
since, as he
title ever
said.
since. Mr. Garner. I mean,
Oh,
you know,
that's an interesting point. Anne-Marie says she would be the same if she didn't fancy him.
what?
The way that he's behaving to her.
He would sort of pretend it was about respect and
Yeah.
everything.
I mean,
this is my
the
point. I
thing
think
is-
he needs to get.
I mean, I don't like him. I don't
maybe
trust
he's
him.
going a very-
But he has the right to fancy or not fancy.
yeah, absolutely.
But the reason, I mean,
how
if
should
he
he get
was
out
a
of it?
really nice person, we'd be going, oh no, the chemistry isn't there, and
So
now he's just.
how should he go about it?
Unfortunately, I think the way that he is.
Oh, so he can't win.
No, the way that he's going about it is he is trying to let her down gently.
Zoe says absolute dipshit.
How do you think he should have done it? I mean,
How do you
he is.
think he
He's
should have
not
coped
being
with it?
brutal.
What
with
should
it.
he have said?
He's saying, this is really different. It's 70% of what I want.
Gracie
He is-
Stonehill reminds us he wanted a female him.
He did.
Remember that? He said
I
that.
want me.
I
Thank
want
you
me.
for reminding us of that.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Garner. Move on to the next woman. This one's a Garner in his head already. Dawny Harvey.
Dawn, you haven't told us what's wrong with Zoe yet.
Yeah, what don't you like about Zoe?
Come on.
Not don't like, but what is it that
She said she
doesn't-
didn't like her.
All right, what don't you like about Zoe?
I like Zoe.
I
I'll be
like
just
her.
be interested to see if I'm wrong.
Perhaps, Dawny, you're picking up on what I'm feeling, which is she holds back a bit. She's a bit, not prickly, but she's a bit awkward. But that will be nerves. That will be nerves.
Have you dated someone like Zoe? Is this what it is, Dawny?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you can, if you see similarities and a relationship's gone wrong, and I don't like them.
Yeah.
It could be like that even if somebody's got the same name
You've
as
dated
somebody.
someone like Zoe, haven't you, in the past?
Oh,
Jen Bradley, oh God, he can do one. Becky Ossie, I loved Zoe. Hope she doesn't get her heart broken. I think she will fall deep. Yeah, I mean, we're not thinking about the fact that it could be the other girl that loses interest in her. I suppose one is always looking for who's going to lose interest first.
Well, one thing the other girl said, Jenna said, was, "Oh yeah, everything asked for in personality."
Yes. Who said that?
Jenna.
Jenna. She did she? But she wanted someone in a suit.
Well, she got that, but we don't know what she asked for looks.
We don't know what she wanted in the suit. That's a good point. Yeah.
Don't you think it's interesting how she didn't talk
about
about
having her own business?
I suppose she might have done. She probably did. It will
They
be in
might
the
have just
edit.
cut it.
They've just decided
was
they've got to
boring.
choose what they want to keep in and what they don't.
Mandy Nanny, I think Zoe is worried about not having meat.
I do. She's
Yeah.
obviously loves her meat.
Yeah, I'd struggle with someone who was a vegan. I would. She said soft masculine, which she got,
Yeah.
Natasha.
Come on, Dawny.
Yeah.
What's your feeling? What's your instinct?
She's typed, oh, here we go. I did a bit ago. There's something amiss. I trust my gaydar 100%.
Yeah. So this is. I wondered if it was a gaydar thing. But in what way? We need more information.
Dylan
From your gaydar
they need to be more open-minded if they go on a show like this. Otherwise, what's the fucking point? Just for further opportunities,
They
maybe.
didn't-
I added the
hang on,
fucking, by the
Della
way.
did not say fucking.
No,
Don't
I
add in the
added
swearing.
fucking because that's how I feel. They both said bit of a spark,
Yeah.
said stiff shorts. Well,
But
there
I
we go.
definitely. Yeah, and she wanted kisses, and she wanted.
Oh,
I found.
I tell you where it could come. Having kids. She asked the question. Zoe.
It was one of her first questions.
So it must be important to Zoe.
They hadn't even done the photos, and she
No.
said, "Do you want kids?"
And Jenna said no.
Jenna
I think
said-
therein will lie a problem
Jenna said no.
by week 4 or 5, I think.
So somebody just went up there about the dinner party. Forgotten about the dinner party. They were just saying the dinner parties are going to be crazy.
Oh, fuck. Is that in this?
Yes. Not Love is Blind. We're getting our. No,
Is it Love
nothing.
is Blind?
It is love. No, it's this.
Is Andy Cohen in this? Oh,
We're getting,
thought Andy
we're
Cohen
getting
was
our
in
shit TV entwined.
I'm really...
It's all down.
I'm still in Real Housewives of Beverly
Oh my
Hills from last
god!
night.
Just before we go, me and Kiki watched tonight because it's now landed.
Zoe wants
siblings.
to apply next year, but your dad... Apply!
Zoe, do it!
Do it!
We'll come to the wedding.
We'll come to the bloody wedding. Your dad
We would. We'd come to the wedding.
Yeah.
Zoe, have you watched? Because I thought you would like this. Siblings. What's it called?
I don't know.
Sibling Loves.
I was editing.
It's a
I didn't
new
see.
series. So it's a bit like Love Island, but you go with your siblings. Yeah. Basically, your sibling is there as your wingman woman.
Right.
And it's brilliant.
Right.
Is it on Dating and Related? That's it, Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens at the dinner party, says Toffee Apple, who's just about come to this show because of our suggestion.
Usually everything goes
batshit
crazy.
fucking crazy.
Arguments, walking out.
But it's
people
also
like
where people
committing
start to fancy
infidelity.
other people. Exactly. And this sort of, God, you've got a fabulous jug, babe. Where's your other jug? Anyway. Well, there you go, guys. We'll be back tomorrow night for
Official
the same.
Shane channel, yes, you can have a shout out. We are now going to go and watch. Are we watching House of Dragon or are we watching Housewives of Beverly Hills?
I don't know. House of the Dragon or
We've
House.
got school tomorrow,
Yeah,
so we've got
exactly.
to be up early.
Come on, guys.
Bye.
Bedtime. Lots of love. See you in the morning. Coffee moaning.